So last week we did a day in the life of a rancher with Scott in the Highwood Mountains of Montana. Well, we're going to continue that adventure as we tag the very first calves of the year. If you want to see part 1, make sure you click this link right here. Otherwise, let's jump right into the action. So what are we doing today?
I'm talking too much, so I'm not paying attention to what I'm trying to do, but I'm
No,
going to leave this open for the time being.
Okay. We're just tagging calves out here?
Yeah, we're going to go to our little calf shack. I'll show you our little calving spot here.
Okay.
We'll go across the road, and then some of these calves that are a few days old, that they'll follow the mom, we'll turn them out of here.
Okay.
We try not to keep pairs in with the other stuff for too long. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just one of those, like we were talking about mitigating risk. You know, calves they get stepped on, they get laid on, you get...
Well, and you have occasional nannying problems as well.
So I was going to say, you have a heifer that's never had a calf before, and she calves, and one of the other calves come over, and you get mix-ups, and I mean, you get problems. So once you get a bond established with a cow and a calf, we find that the best thing to do is get them out by themselves. Not by themselves, but with other pairs.
With the other pairs,
in a place where they can go. This is our little calf shack.
Oh, nice. Yes, very nice.
In here, we got a stove in here.
Yep.
We got a little doctoring room. And
got a nice Mildred buck right there.
That muley buck, the horns were here, those are like 80 years old.
Oh, really?
And my dad found a new cape and put a new cape on that.
I see.
For Dave one year. So then we got a little calf warmer, a little doctoring room here with a little drive-up window so we can talk to each other. This is where you really see differences in ranches, and you could make a coffee table book an inch thick with all the different, setups that people have.
Setups for this, yeah.
Stuff. Yeah, so I got to remake one tag here.
But this is how an OCD person does it right here. See, I've not seen this.
This isn't even
this
all
setup here. This is, I mean, he's got all the tags laid out, kind of nice and
made. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. These are for the ones that are just being born now. He's got them all kind of. Just pre-marking them.
I can just see all your comments. Hey, we really enjoyed your show with the OCD guy. And I get to write all my tags backwards because otherwise I drag my left hand through my ink. So
oh, that's right. Because he's left-handed.
In case you're wondering why I'm starting right and going right to left.
I remember that in school that you were left-handed and they.
So our tags, when we tag our calves, our tags always match the cows. Some people go in order, as they calve numerically. Like when they get to calf 10, they make a tag that says calf 10.
Yep.
And then this number will match mom, and then on the top of the tag we always put the brand. And this one happens to be one of mine, so that's why I'm remaking this tag, is because this one is not like that.
Oh, okay. And then what's the dot?
So did Dave tell you the dot indicates that it's a heifer calf? When we're fresh and getting started like this and we're not exhausted and we can look under a tail and know what we're dealing with, we generally get them right. As the year goes on and we get sleep deprived and further along, we make a few mistakes. We're never perfect, but just for sorting cows, we try to put on the tag whether they're a steer or a heifer.
Gotcha.
And then our numbers, the 21 is always the year. 6.
The year of the mother?
Yeah, so these are all heifers, so they were all calves in 21.
Okay, so if you put the same number on each one.
Well, so if we keep them as a replacement, they'll have to get a new number.
Gotcha.
So like those tags,
he keeps them as a replacement, then he puts a different.
We'll run them in at some point this fall or spring, and they'll get assigned a completely new number. It'll generally be something like, say, let's find a heifer here. So let's say this cow here, that this calf ends up being a replacement heifer. So now we're into 2023. So a year from now, if we keep this heifer, she would probably become 2309. And then there's kind of a little relationship there among the kind of. Sometimes you end up with a lot of the same numbers and they get random on you, but that's the idea. That's the idea behind it. So,
yeah, I gotcha. Everybody does that tagging thing.
Everybody
different.
My neighbors
Most
do it.
Of them do the same number as the parent.
My neighbors, they do theirs a different way. And then, like when they're sorting pairs, they got to sit there with their book, you know, and look at. They got to reconcile every cow to every calf.
That's tough. What he's talking about is when you have a whole herd of cows sitting in front of you that are pairs, and you're trying to like sort out some pairs to go to this pasture over here, you have to be able to tell which cows goes with which calf, because they're not necessarily standing together all the time.
They'll fool you.
They'll fool you.
Oh yeah.
Because the calf will run with a cow.
Calf will stay with a cow, and it's not necessarily hers. The only way you know if they're a pair is if she'll let it suck.
Right.
She'll let it nurse, it's hers. That's the only surefire way. I mean, I've been doing this for a while. I can still be wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
Cow will stand over top of a calf for hours. Calf will get up, run off, go suck another mom.
Yep.
It's not the right one.
So when
Is this gonna pick up okay while I'm driving around?
it should.
Do you want me to shut it
That's
off
fine.
every
That's
time?
fine. Close enough. Oh, you just tell me. I don't know. So we're just gonna do it. Usually it isolates pretty well.
Okay.
I
didn't want to start it in the middle of what you were saying.
This
I didn't want
fairly
to.
low tone.
Yeah,
The tone's
that's
different.
why we
So,
bought this machine.
Yeah, I like
Some
it.
of
What
them
is it?
It's a Kawasaki.
Because the Polaris one's so loud.
We have 3 of them. If we went to this, that would be fine.
So if you tag the calf with the same number as the cow, then when you're looking at a group, you can just look, oh, that's 2109, that's 2109, so
Right.
that's a pair. That's why it's easier, how it's easier to kind of tell. So it's like there's a deer out here with your cow.
You know, that's something that makes me think of something. You hear a lot of times about the environmental impact of ranching and agriculture.
Yeah.
What people don't realize, if we did not raise cattle in this country, do you know how many more deer would die every year? Do you know how many deer I keep alive because I feed cattle? Hundreds.
He's talking winter. In the winter time, because they're feeding the hay, the deer have something to eat in the winter time.
Yeah, they come clean up after the cattle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
Okay.
exactly what it is. So, I mean, for like my wife and I, you know, we don't draw a wage at all. So our benefit to running the ranch and doing everything is we run our own herd of cows for free, essentially.
Right.
You know, we don't pay every little expense. Just we get to run our own group of cows.
So,
You know,
whatever
the
you
ranch-
make off of that,
The ranch
sure.
isn't set up to be hugely profitable. The ranch is basically, as long as the ranch comes up to 0 every year, and we can run 80 to 100 of our own cows. That's all you really can ask for.
Right.
That's great. We have years like that. Everybody's happy.
And that's your paycheck.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't know. That little Baldy's going to be tough
I know.
to
I
catch.
want that one because I know which one that is.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be so choosy. What I should do is shut these gates so that they don't continue.
So they don't continue on down the bottom area.
That's what a smart
Yeah.
rancher would do.
Right. We've never been accused of being all the way.
No,
smart.
me neither. This cow here, she calved up in this swamp up here, days ago. And I found that calf, and I lost sleep about it Saturday night. I was like, man, I hope that calf's okay, because I haven't seen it with a mom yet. And I mean, it took her, what's today? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yesterday, she finally led him to the feed ground instead of, it's
Really?
kind of like deer and elk. They go off alone, and
Yeah, they do tend to go off on their own for a little bit before they to calve.
I guess, and that's the argument that the range cattle people have, let them go off alone and calve it like nature does.
Yeah. Problem is, if they have trouble, you'll never know it.
You get lots of people like that.
What?
The
Range cattle?
calve with nature kind of.
I haven't actually. I haven't dealt with anybody like that yet. Everybody
There's a
I
lot of that movement, calve
there?
in the spring and do it more like nature does it kind of stuff. I read a
yeah,
lot about it.
I've heard about it, but I haven't talked to anybody like that. So if anybody knows any of those outfits, I would love to go do a video on calving with nature, that kind of thing. Right now, I'm doing a couple things on buffalo versus cattle.
Oh, sure. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more hands off. Are we gonna drive over there?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can't snag one.
I see. Trying to just figure. Yeah, like
I'm
which.
gonna just take the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, that's right.
Chance I
You
can.
snag one, tell me. I'll grab whichever one you want.
Yeah, I'll go shut this gate.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast a calf when it first born. Oh yeah, yeah.
Red cow's letting her calf suck, and then the other one is
Trying to sneak in there and get it.
You watch. The only calf I'll be able to catch is the tag that I just made that I didn't bring with me.
Exactly.
Anybody gonna volunteer to get caught?
This one, the little horn one there. You surprised him.
I did.
That's the best way to do it. So you put 2 tags in them right now, or?
Oh, they just get one. They only get 2 for, being cows or
Okay.
something that stays around.
There you go, buddy.
Only stings for a minute.
Yep. Just like getting your ear pierced,
Ask
right?
any girl that's ever had her ears pierced.
That's right.
And then it makes them good and mad, so they pair up really well.
Right.
We generally do this, when we're really busy calving, we kind of have a process. So, they have a calf, you make sure they get up, that they nurse. Once they've nursed, then they can get a tag. We try not to tag anything that hasn't sucked yet,
Yeah.
just
right.
so that we all are on the same page about what to watch.
Yep. Well, when there's just a couple, it always gets away from you a little bit. I know how that.
Well, at the beginning, you're
trickling.
kind of slow to get into the rhythm and the process right off the bat.
Yeah.
We start getting 15, 16 calves a day, and it's kind of like, you got them in the barn, you walk through the barn with a block full of tags, and you just put one to the other and do them.
Yeah. Now they're brushing up on you to try to get away.
I know they're
Almost. There you go. Get the wild little.
Oh, look,
Little
I'm
baldy.
so scared I'm just gonna fall in the
Uh-huh.
floor. I like these little baldy.
Yeah, they're pretty cute, aren't they? Heifer, huh?
You want to load my gun for me?
Yeah.
You know the
Yep.
drill on that guy? This is always amazing to me, how you can have a random number of buttons in your pocket,
And you can't get one?
and I can't pull out the orange one
Oh, I see.
ever.
I get it facing the right way?
So
I should usually get
Yep.
it. Got a horn?
oh, just check it. I don't feel anything, no.
There you go, kid. She's a,
You wouldn't
she's a
think.
good protective mom, but
I
not
like them.
but not quite.
Yep.
Yeah, good to have the mother instincts, but not try to kill you.
We don't keep much of that kind of stuff.
No,
Like, it's just
it's hard.
labor's too hard and life's too short.
It is.
And if they're gonna take you in a pen or a corral, they don't stay.
Yeah,
But
we got rid
let
of
them
one this year.
range cabin people do them.
Exactly. That one's gonna be fast. Is he a little older? Yeah.
No.
Looks like the red cow's got a younger one, huh?
Yep.
They're all like,
They are fun though.
oh yeah.
Calves are cute.
They are. They're always cute. It's always better if you can get behind them and sneak up on them before they know you're there.
You only get one shot.
Yeah.
Long one.
Huh?
So this is a big calf.
Long calf?
This is a long one.
Yeah.
We started doing it in the left ear a few years back because then this ear is up on the branding table.
Oh yeah.
The
You
brand
can
on the
see
table.
it.
And then the nice thing for me being left-handed is I can always feel, like with my left hand, I can feel that space between the cartilage with my fingers.
Uh-huh.
And then all I got to do is put my button right at the tip of my thumb.
Stick it right in there, huh?
Get right in there.
Don't sit on that tag end there.
You might notice that.
You might notice that one.
Another 2 months, you know, if we get some 30 below and we freeze off some ears, catching these buggers when they're 100, 150 pounds,
Oh yeah.
they're fast.
Oh yeah. Just give
That
these
gets
little
wild.
give these guys about a week, these little calves, and they are not easy to catch.
We don't have a tag.
Yeah, which calf is hers, huh?
So this is where the dot is nice. You know, I can go, okay,
Oh, I see.
49 had a heifer, 09
So that's
had a heifer.
hers on the right then.
But why, we must have done that one already.
Must have. That's not. It can't be hers.
We haven't done that one yet. Why don't I have that one? It's in my pocket. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So you don't have this one
There it
here.
is. Yep. So 27 is a steer, 49 is a heifer. So when they're,
This is 27 here.
if it's a steer,
This is steer. Should be steer.
sorry, it's not a steer yet.
No, it's
It
bull
will
calf.
become one.
It's bull calf. Almost.
Like I said, you get
Little
one
bugger. Yeah. You got to sneak up on them when they're not moving, and then you get about one chance to get them, unless you can get them up next to a fence.
Get him by.
Yeah, get him called
Get
by.
him with mom.
She's over there, buddy. Like, oh, there she is. Then he thinks he's really hot and stuff.
He is. Look at him.
Yes. He thinks he's really something. He's a lively one.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Really hardy.
It makes for hardy animals.
It does.
You know, every year I call the guy that buys my calves and ask him how my calves look, and every year he says, those are the healthiest calves I ever get. And it's not that ours are exceptionally healthy, it's when you do this in this kind of environment, you're the guy that weeds out the weed stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
By the time these get to the feedlot, only the best ones make it there.
Right.
It's not like the easier areas where they get weaker genetics that make it that far. I mean, these animals aren't. You gotta hold still, though.
Yeah, he's a really hardy one.
Hey, now, gotta have a button.
Yep. Won't do much good without one, huh? There you go, buddy. Yeah, everybody wants to be a cowboy.
To do this. Yep. And then I remember, and I don't tell many people this story, but like 2018, we had a really bad winter. I mean, it was February of 2018. The average daytime high temperature for Great Falls was minus 4.3.
Oh, wow.
And after, you know this, you don't see that effect immediately. Like, you still keep calving and everything's okay. It's like 30 days later, you're in March, and the cow was stressed, and the milk's not that good, and the calf was stressed, and all of a sudden in March, calves are dropping dead. You're finding dead stuff all the time, and it's because of the month before.
Right.
And I remember a day in March of 2018 where I was finding more dead calves every day than we were having live calves born. And you're so tired, and you're so sleep deprived, and you're exhausted. And I walked in my dining room one day, and I just stood in the dining room alone and cried. Like, not like a tear, but I mean just like shoulder shaking weep, because you're just broke. You got nothing left. You can't give more of yourself to those animals, and it just every day it just beats you and beats you down. And that mental game is the hands down what makes this the hardest thing to do. Is keeping up with that and not letting that get to you.
Well, people see one day of it, or they experience one day of it, but you know, you're right. The hardest part is the fact that days and days upon days of it is what gets you, you know. Or,
right,
you know,
and you're crabby, and you're hard on your kids, and you're hard on your wife. You don't see that on Yellowstone.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
When was the last time Kevin Costner snapped at his wife because he was sleep deprived?
Right.
Or so I'm told, because I've never really watched it.
Right.
I've had a lot of people ask me if I've watched it and what I think.
Is this the younger one yet?
It's much younger.
Much younger.
Just see how
They just totally different to. I don't know. There's no cow coming over. Unless that's her there.
There should be 3 of them out here, and I'm afraid I'm grabbing the wrong one. Short of 10.
That's right, buddy. We don't know who you are. Yeah, you're gonna have to go find your mom. So
I
you
think
know.
this is 2109. It should be. He's pretty old.
Yeah. See her either.
She just walked off that one. There should be 3 of them out here. There are only 2.
There's one over there. One went that way.
Let's go for a walk, shall we?
Yeah. Well, go find your mom, buddy.
Go find your mother.
Go find your mom. Nope, that's not her.
That's the tag I've got, so that's how.
That's the one you're trying to find?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it is.
It's gonna run right to her.
Yeah, it might. We're like, I'm like, yeah, that's not it. And then, no, still didn't.
It is a steer, or I mean a bull calf.
Yeah.
Say steer for 10 months out of the year.
Yeah, I know, it's hard.
Saying bull calf, 60 days. I feel like this one is gonna be this one. She's standing right over it.
Yep.
So this is what we do here. We just rub them like their mom would when they pick on them. Moms come and stick on them to get them up.
Yeah.
Just rub on them and get them up.
That one's, how old is that one?
Last night.
Okay, that's her calf then.
I'm guessing so.
Sure looks like it.
Sure.
Huh?
short one. There he is.
Is over there, yeah.
Over there.
Well, the thing is, we're talking about the stress and everything, and it happens. Sometimes the stress is just there, but there's other times when you're standing out here going, how the heck do I get to do this stuff?
I know, right? I mean, the sun's shining on you, you're in the mountains, you're taking care of your animals. I mean, it's hard not to be thankful for this, you know?
Yeah,
I could be in a cubicle somewhere.
exactly. You know,
Start raving crazy.
we talk about the tough things that that ranchers do, but honestly, those moments of if we actually take the time to appreciate them, the moments where you go, wow, this is a pretty dang good day, you know, are worth all of the days that are not good. Or we would otherwise you wouldn't do it. That's definitely
that was
her.
the one.
Oh, that was
that
her.
we let go.
Okay. Now he's
Oh, we'll do this.
Yeah, I
several
think you
different ways.
he's not going to be too tough, is he? No.
A little bit of frost on those ears. Just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Feel them? There's a little bit thick.
So they
It got down in the 20s last night, so you just feel they're a little puffy.
Oh yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
tiny
tiny
bit.
bit
So I
of
try to get them tags just a tiny
little bit in there further, just in case they lose that ear. And
because that is a lot of work. When you get really, we've had years where we have to do 20, 30, sometimes 40 of them a year.
what?
Retag them.
Oh yeah.
So you're trying to pair them up when they're 2 months old and then catch the little buggers.
Right.
And that becomes a chore.
Yeah, because they're really fast at that point.
Really fast. And then it just seems so stressful. You know, you're chasing them whether you're horseback with a rope or on a machine, you got to run them down to catch them.
Yep.
But you asked Dave why he did it, you know, and those are great answers. One of the things that, and you and I have talked about this, but one of the things that I come back to is it's a biblical thing, you know, to animal husbandry and good stewardship was a command given to us in Genesis. And that to me is, I don't understand people that don't have that to rely on, how they could take the mental beatdowns of this. Because if this is the end in itself and not the means to an end,
Right.
I couldn't sustain this.
Right.
But knowing that this is a calling, you know, and that we're to subdue the earth and you know, be stewards to the animals and the environment, then if everything goes wrong, it's, you know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and the rest is out of my control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I?
I think it's the same thing that my personal hypothesis on that, I guess, how people do it that aren't Bible believing Christians like we are, it's like, why do people enjoy it so much hiking in the high country? There is a spiritual connection to it, whether you realize it or not. You know, even though you don't realize what we're talking about, there's a spiritual connection there, so you do it because of that, even if you don't realize what that connection is. There's a connection to being out here with animals and raising them and taking care of them and taking care of the land and managing
we were told to do it that way.
That's right.
And that's why, to me, the whole, you know, calving with nature in the springtime is not a right or wrong. It's just a different, because, you know, I don't have to try to sync my cows with Mother Nature, which the term Mother Nature drives me nuts.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
But I don't have to try to follow that to do a good job, because I'm created in the image of God and have a mind. I'm taking care of His creation. The distinction between the created and the creation. And so it's my duty to take care of these as best I can. And if that means the best thing for them is to calve them in February or March, so that, you know, we can run them on good grass in the forest, I don't have a problem with that. I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong in my management approach because of that.
Well, the great part is we have a creative mind. We're given a creative mind, and those creative minds can decide.
Come.
But he wants to change it so bad.
She's overeager.
Yeah.
Come. Load up. Load up. It makes the crying go away for a short
it
while.
does, yes.
The crying drives me nuts.
Uh-huh. But it does because we've been given the creative ability to think creatively, then we get to decide different ways of doing things. And that's why people do things all different ways.
So this is what we do, you know, and when that pasture's full of 400 cows instead of just 60 heifers, this is our day. You
Right.
go through the barn, you make sure that everything that was born in the night has nursed and everything is okay. You tag the stuff that you know has nursed, and then you start getting rid of them as fast as you can. And if you miss a day, all of a sudden the next day you got 30 of them you got to get rid of. It
Right.
stacks up fast. And now she's got a great big pasture where you can go stash him off by itself and not feel crowded and run over by the other cows.
That's right. So how long
It's a beautiful thing.
How long does it take to go to calve out everybody? When do you get done calving?
You know, by the end of March, we kind of are at our physical end. You know,
Right.
by the end of March, you just can't do it all night anymore. You get down to them last 15 or 20, and the weather's getting better, and you kind of get this attitude: if they can't do it in the warm weather by themselves, they don't belong here anyway. And really, once you get to that point at the end of March, anything that's calving in April or late April, they're going to fall out of your program anyway. And so,
Right, because they're going to be
we
too
still
late.
not to say we don't still take good care of them,
Yes.
but you know, there comes a point where some of them end ones where it's no longer necessary to check them every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to move this one across. The babies are really young, so sometimes it's a little more difficult, but she's following.
But it's a beautiful thing when
He's
they want to
following.
follow their mom.
Oh, isn't it? I head out there.
And you know what? I'd love to
You
let
take
the
them
dog
slow.
work.
Yeah,
just-
but it's
I've had people say that. Oh, you know, the machine, you just can't go slow. I could put this in low and go half a mile an hour.
Oh,
There's no way that I'm pressuring that cow any more than I would on a horse.
No, not. And when you're moving cows, it's a tendency that when you first start moving cows, everybody wants to move the cow.
Yeah.
But really, what you want to do is get the cow going the right direction, and then just allow them to move. And only at the end of a long drive do you really start having to push something. You know.
Yes, I've done that too.
Yes.
My father-in-law always said, you know, slow is fast when it comes to cattle.
Yep.
For one. And the other thing he always taught me was the easiest way to work cattle is to get them to do what you want by thinking that it was their idea.
Exactly. And a lot of times you go out there and start pushing something really fast, then they'll forget about looking for the gate, and they'll start looking, panicking and trying to move around you and trying to go back the other way, and it's just that's why moving them slow, because she knows where she's going.
We're really hardly even moving her.
Yeah.
We've just got her going a direction, and now she thinks she's getting away from us, and she's just going to keep going.
Yeah.
We're just going to follow her up there.
Which is also way less stress on the cow.
Absolutely. This creek crossing gives us some trouble.
That calf is experiencing his first creek crossing. I hope you could see that. You probably could, because it's probably too far away, but that was pretty funny.
Bringing them in at branding time, I've had some come on, you know, actually make it down the bridge.
Oh,
I've had
really?
a lot of them splash off the bridge. This one is still out here.
Oh, the one that's still out here.
There's two calves left out here, this 2019 and this 2106.
Yeah, 2106. Yeah. Oh,
It can't be a 21.
it can't be a
19. It
2019.
can't be a 2000. It has to be 2109. See, I'll have to make a new sheet now. You're joking. You're
Yeah.
laughing. You
No,
think I'm joking?
I don't think you're joking.
Totally start over.
Yep.
Another month and we'll be 3 or 4 pages in, and then it'll be different. But
Yeah. So how do you also have hunters here?
Yeah.
For
so
That's a long
So
story.
they just pay to stay here?
Oh, I actually do some guided hunting
Yeah?
every year. I've got an outfitter that I work with that's dependable and trustworthy,
Which is hard to find.
which is
sometimes.
hard to find sometimes. And I've got another guy that does all the hooking stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, just for a little change of pace and something different, we generally host anywhere between 2 to 4 deer hunters and maybe 2 to 3 bow hunters a year.
Oh, okay.
And this is where they generally stay.
And this is all, are these all your mounts? Yeah. Like stuff that you've shot?
Yeah, and everything in here, for the most part, my kids come in and out of here. I mean, stuff doesn't get put away.
All right.
I'm sure you
I
know
see
what
a
it's
couple,
like.
couple clips. Yeah. No.
Most everything here came from the ranch. So
except for the kudu, of course.
The exotics didn't, and the Spanish goat from Maui didn't, and the antelope didn't. But you know, if it's other than that, most and the alligator didn't come from
Yeah.
Upper Highwood.
Alligator didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Upper Highwood.
But everything else is from here. Both bears are from the ranch. The elk are from the ranch. The lion, the deer.
What do your kids shoot? Do they shoot a 7mm08 or something
My
similar?
kids, my oldest has a 6.5.
Okay.
The big
Creedmoor?
Creedmoor crazy. Yep. And my youngest has shot either my 6mm Remington or my 6.5 or something like that. He's more
6mm
reasonable. He doesn't think he has to have his own gun like my oldest
Okay.
one. My oldest one.
He's
Thinks,
got
he's
like-
like me. He thinks he has to
gotta
have
have the own
everything,
thing.
every one of everything like
Yeah.
I want to have.
Right,
but
I'm with you. Yeah.
it or-
Well, it's been awesome to be up here at your place, Scott, and kind of going through what your day is this time of year. I know it's going to get to look a lot different here as we go, because there's going to be more calving and stuff. But it's really awesome to see and talk to ranchers and understand different aspects of how they got into ranching and how they operate with ranching. And so I really appreciate you taking this into your world a little bit.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
We'll be
Happy to
keeping
do
in
it.
touch with Scott throughout the year and hopefully get to do some more with him.
I would like that.
Also, make sure to check out this video coming up this week.